Johnny Kendhammer podcast, episode 2. We're going to talk about some learned values today. Coming to you from my apartment in Playa del Carmen, finishing off moving. I'm getting ready to leave tomorrow, so it's my final night here in Playa. Packing up everything, getting it all cleaned out, looking to see just how much stuff I have that I don't actually need to be bringing with me. It's so much more stuff than I actually need. I'm sure if you guys went through your apartments or your house, you'd probably find a ton of stuff that you just keep for no reason. And I don't want to live like that. I want to be minimalistic, on the go, live wherever I want. With Airbnbs now, it's so easy to just pick up and move. So really kind of just shows me how much stuff I have that I don't even need. I mean, I moved from Minneapolis with just 2 suitcases and I thought I downsized a lot. And now I'm just realizing even more how much stuff I have that I don't need. But heading to Australia tomorrow. I'll be flying from Cancun to Vancouver, Vancouver to Brisbane, and then off to have an epic journey and adventure with a client. He wants to get his online dating profile set up. No more wasting time. We're going to go get him some epic pictures. No more wasting time with photographers that don't know what they're doing. No more wasting time waiting to get pictures done. That's one of the biggest things I see with my clients is that I'll teach them how to get proper photos, show them what they look like, but it's very difficult to take that action if you don't have friends that know what they're doing, or if you feel uncomfortable getting photos, it can be a little intense. And so you get delayed for a couple weeks. The photos don't turn out exactly how you want. So heading over there, going to get him set up immediately with all this stuff. No more dicking around. Get it done in a weekend or throughout the week. We're going to be going from Brisbane to Melbourne, to the Gold Coast, to Sydney, to Cairns, to Bali, all over. It's going to be quite the experience. We're going to get some awesome photos. I'll make sure I'm filming everything, showing you what kind of content is going on there. Would love to hear your feedback from anybody who's been to these cities. What we're really looking to do is go out, practice our day game, get more comfortable talking to women on the street, building up our social skills, giving them a good experience, being able to really boost our confidence and get the dating life that we want. So if you know any areas with a lot of foot traffic, places that we should see, absolute must-sees, any restaurants, definitely message me in the comments. Would love to know that. This is going to be the first trip I've ever taken that's this far out of the country. I never really traveled after my divorce, or while I was married, for sure, I never traveled. But after the divorce, the farthest I've ever gone is Budapest, which is a great experience. I love that. But now is the time where my business is set up. I'm getting clients that are needing my help to go travel around and get things set up for them. So very exciting adventure. Awesome to see the progress. Really ties into today's topic of learned behavior. When I was growing up, I assumed everybody was just the way they were. You were born confident, you were born good looking, you were born popular, you were born adventurous, you were born talkative or social. All these things I didn't realize you could actually improve and learn on. I just assumed that, this is your lot in life. Everybody told you you're the quiet kid, you're the unpopular kid, you're just not going to get the girls that you want. You just deal with it. You're never very happy with it. And so instead of finding ways to improve, you kind of just cope, play video games, overeat, watch movies, never really put yourself out there, never really tried to improve. And then after the divorce, I started to watch content that really opened my mind, listening to Zig Ziglar, listening to Tony Robbins, looking up stuff from Tom Torero and RSD, and all this stuff really just opened in my mind that these are all things that you can improve on. You're not just born unconfident, or you're not just born unsocial. These are things that people told you throughout your life that you are. Hey, you're just a quiet kid. Hey, you're just not the best looking. Hey, whatever. And you just agree with that. You don't ever make actual improvements. And so you're not really happy with your lot in life. But as I started learning more about this, I started to see that I could make improvements. And then as I was making these improvements, my entire life started to change. I started to see that I could go to the gym and I could lose weight. I could go out to a bar or club or to a trivia night and I could just ask, hey, do you mind if I join your trivia team? And most people will say yes. That's how I started my social journey. I was very intimidated. I didn't want to. I didn't know how to even do this really, but I knew I was alone. I was alone after divorce. I didn't have any friends. I was in a small town in Wisconsin, so I didn't have a huge community of people. I didn't know about any men's retreat to teach me how to be more masculine. I was just stuck, alone, feeling miserable. And when I stumbled upon this stuff, a good guy I learned from was Marcus Oki, your charisma coach. Shout out to him. I think his channel is like 10 years old now, but that really just showed me that you could learn charisma. So a learned skill. You're not stuck being the shy, quiet kid. You're not stuck being, I'll say, uncharismatic. This is something, if you dedicated yourself to, or put the energy into, you can make improvements. You don't need to be as charismatic as Tom Cruise or somebody like that. But from where you are now, you could make a conscious effort to say hi to an extra person today, to give somebody a compliment, to speak your mind about a subject. This is something that is in your control. It is a learned value. Learned values are things that you can improve on. They are in your control. They will make your life better in some way. So what I wanted to do was be social and charismatic because I knew if I did that, I would have more opportunities to make new friends, meet new women, be more successful. And I always felt that I wasn't being myself when I was as quiet as I was, not speaking my mind, not building attraction with women. Like I just never felt I was good enough or worthy. Like it just nagged on me that I felt so small. So the way I started to improve my social life at first, because I didn't want to just go out to the bars and clubs right away, was I asked people if I could join their trivia team. I wanted to be social around people. I wanted to make a new group of friends. And they immediately accepted me. And this became a weekly thing. We became good friends, helped me build my social skills, get me out of my house, meet new people. And then from there, because I saw that that was working, I was then able to start going to talk to the bartender a little bit more, talking to people at Whole Food or like the grocery stores, asking, how's your day going? And just having missions for myself. Hey, I'm going to start 3 conversations in the morning just to get myself warmed up. This is something that Marcus Oki was talking about in one of his videos. I applied it and I really started to see the difference. And when I started to see this difference and I started listening to Tom Torero, who really showed me about learned values, that I started to improve other areas of my life. I started to dress better. I didn't want to wear the same clothes that I'd been wearing for the last years that were oversized, made me look like a 40-year-old middle-aged man. They didn't make me look attractive. It didn't look like I put any effort into anything. So then I started to increase my style. From there, I started to learn all about travel, like how travel will really impact you. It will give you more adventures. You'll meet new people. You'll meet friends that you've never thought were possible. It really takes you out of your comfort zone. You're not able to just socialize with the people you've grown up with or your family. You have to go to an environment where you know nobody. You have to be able to fend for yourself if something happens. And you really just see what you're capable of. I had a little bit of experience with this with the military, but I never did that on my own. It was very much, you go for the military, you go down to the base, you're with a bunch of people, then they send you off to this school, and then this, and then this. I was never really on my own. I already knew where I was going. But then I moved to Boston, not knowing anybody, brand new city. That started to push my comfort zone just to see what was possible. But what really changed is when you leave your country. You go to a whole new country, different cultures, different values, different languages, and you just immediately see that you can really handle multiple situations that come up. If you get arrested in Mexico, that happened to me at one time. Going into Guatemala, not speaking the language or having Uber on your phone, and then you have to walk 3 miles to your hotel. You just think like, oh, well, 3 miles, I don't know the city, but I do have Google Maps. Not that big of a deal. This is another thing that just you learn and it builds your confidence. It's a learned skill. You don't have to just be unconfident. I can't travel on my own. You just do it. You build experiences and you never know what happens. You'll meet crazy people that you've never thought. You'll meet women that you didn't know you liked. You'll meet friends everywhere. You have new interests and stories to tell that you just would never have gotten to if you just stay stuck, especially after divorce, after a breakup. That's really, I think, where a lot of men struggle in their 30s and 40s, is that typically a lot of us were in a relationship that didn't work out. Then you're completely lost when this girl moves on and you don't know what to do with your life. Like, she took up a big chunk of it. You feel like you're going to be alone forever. You don't want to start over again because it's very difficult to see what's possible, to see that you have your freedom, that you can grow. Like, you just feel stuck. So having these learned values is going to just improve you as a man. I was watching The Hangover the other day. Again, I love that movie. I just saw it for the first time maybe a month ago because it had nudity in it, and my ex, she would have had an issue with that and freaked out, which is why we never saw it in the first place. And had I watched that movie when it first came out, I would have just assumed, I would have been very jealous of Bradley Cooper in the movie. In the movie, he's the alpha, he's the leader, he's very good looking, he's charismatic, and I would have just been very envious of him, thinking, man, that guy's just got it all. Everybody wants to be around him, the women, he's very attractive. I could never be like that. And as I'm watching it now, recently, I'm just seeing like the behavior that he is doing is something that you can learn. If you compare him to Stu, who's the nice guy, he's complaining, he's never trying to solve problems, he's always a victim, he's the nice guy, he doesn't want to express his anger, he doesn't want to upset anybody, he'll do everything to help, for sure to please his girlfriend. In the very first couple scenes of him, he's very supplicating to her, he's lying about going to Vegas, he doesn't want to admit that he wants to go to a strip club. When Chow kidnaps the guys, he's not able to just express his anger about it. This was exactly me. I would do everything I could to supplicate to my ex-wife. Like I said, we didn't even watch the movie because there was nudity in it. And I couldn't admit that, yeah, nudity is not a big deal to me. I also do find other women attractive. I am a man. That doesn't take anything away from you. But because I was the nice guy, I couldn't stand up for myself. I just let that go. Yep, we just won't watch the movie because if it comes up, I don't want to start a fight about it. And I don't want to admit that, I do actually think women are attractive. I am a man. Deal with it. But now that I watched this movie and I've learned values, you don't have to be this nice guy that just supplicates to everybody that doesn't get his needs met. You can actually watch Bradley Cooper and see some of the things that he is doing in the movie that makes him attractive. He is doing things that can be learned that is going to make you more attractive. Yes, he's a good-looking guy. I'm never going to be that good-looking. Like, that's just a fact of life. But I can still do things that will make me more attractive version of myself. I can go to the gym and lose weight. I can improve my style. If you look at him in the movie, he's very slim. He's dresses very nice. He stands very tall. He speaks very clearly. He's expressing himself. If he's angry, he'll say it. He moves slowly. He's very confident when he's talking to his friends. He's very playful. He doesn't supplicate to people. which is the complete opposite of what Stu was, what I was. So now when I see him in this movie, I can really see the behaviors that he's doing. I'm not going to say I'm completely there yet, but just seeing that it is something that I can learn motivates me to continue to get better, to improve. Is there more things that I could do with my charisma, with my confidence? Yes, there is actually, which is why I'm going to Australia. I'm going to go there, help my client interact with new people, get him out on the streets, talking to women so that he can build his confidence, his social skills. He's not going to feel nervous every time he's talking to somebody. Then we can move into, improving your style, improving just how you stand up with yourself. I get distracted. There's a bunch of people walking around outside. It's getting crazy here in Playa. I'll miss it. But it's stuff that you can learn, and going out and meeting new women is going to be one of the catalysts to doing this stuff. If you're 30, 40, and your life is not going the way that you want, there's probably things that you could do right now that would improve it. I know for me personally, I like to continue to build my value, to improve as much as I can, to get attractive women in my life. My whole world is not around just becoming attractive to get women, but I know that by improving myself, I become more attractive just as a person in general. I'm going to attract better friends. I'm going to attract better business partners. I'm going to attract better clients. I'm just going to continue to improve, and I want to be a motivation to people. And one of the best ways to continue to build and improve is to be able to flirt with women, to get women a great time, to give them good emotions. This is stuff that you can do for everybody. People want to be around positive, happy, influential people. They don't want to be around Johnny from 8 years ago, who's a miserable little fuck who complains about everything and plays World of Warcraft for hours a day and then watches football for 10 hours on Sunday and then eats a bunch of garbage food, doesn't sleep well, so then he's cranky in the morning, doesn't socialize with anybody at work because he's afraid to speak his mind. He's afraid to stand up for himself. He thinks that nobody's going to like him anyways. I don't want to be around that guy. I wouldn't want to be around that guy. I can see why people didn't want to be around me at that time. I was not in a good mindset or not in a good headspace. I was not doing things to improve myself. I was not doing any of these learned values. Rather than learning how to socialize or learning how to start a business or learning how to, dress nicer, go on an adventure, like just leave the house, go out and do something, stand up for yourself. I would come home, cope with video games, and then my wife would come home and we would argue and we would have victim mindsets together, and then we would both be upset, and then we wouldn't talk to each other, and then I would have my emotional meltdown where I just wouldn't talk for days and I couldn't take any feedback because that was a hit to my ego. So then I would just zone out and eat ice cream and pizza and just do this over and over and over and over again for years, just drifting, ignoring my problems, assuming that this was just my lot in life. This is fine. This is what I'm going to do. And it wasn't until the divorce where that really switched. Now, because not only did I learn that I could change, no one's coming to save me. I have to do something. If I want the life I want, and if I want to meet women now that my wife is gone, I need to do something. I'm not going to attract the kind of person I want into my life if I keep the same behaviors. No one's coming to save me. No one's just going to come and make me more attractive. They're not just going to take me to the gym. They're not just going to dress me nicer. These are things that I can learn, that I can improve, that I will improve to get the dating life I want. I didn't have that social circle. I wasn't ever going to meet somebody that way. I didn't have a bunch of options in small town Wisconsin. I wasn't going to just be able to go to the bars and have 10 different girls that were into me and then I could choose from abundance. I had to learn to travel, to move, to take that risk, to be more adventurous, to get the fuck out of town, to really do whatever it took to get the life I wanted. No more sitting around playing World of Warcraft for hours a day. No more sitting around watching TV all night. No more sitting around just hoping that a girl's gonna like me for me. Oh yeah, just be yourself. That'll work out. Yeah, myself at the time was lazy, unmotivated, no purpose, overweight, no goals. Like, yeah, that was myself, and it was not a good version of myself. It's not an attractive version of myself. I had to take steps to improve my life, get out of town, all this stuff that I've mentioned before. So this is the point of this video or this podcast. Learn values. It is stuff that is in your control. You can get the life that you want if you're willing to put in some work to continue to improve. Look for people that have the things that you want. One of my clients, he just finished his 8-week coaching. He went from getting through a divorce with no friends. He was the nice guy. His wife would work and he would stay home with the kids, and he would do everything, and he would be very nice guy behavior. His wife would talk bad about him and he would just put up with it. Now, fast forward, after 8 weeks of being divorced, going through the stuff, he's now got friends that are like-minded with him, that have very similar interests. They go out and do things. He's got a community. He's no longer just isolated. That's one of the hardest things, is to try to do this stuff alone, because when you're just sitting around reflecting on the bad things that have happened, and you start to talk bad about yourself, like, oh, I should be doing more. I should be doing this. So you want to get out and meet like-minded people. He's been doing that. He's starting to dress better. He's starting to feel more confident. He's got goals now. He sees what his future can be like. He's already got plans for his band and all this stuff, and his YouTube channel. And you can just really see how he's going to, what direction his life is going. He's no longer just focused on the past, trying to stay that same person that he was. He wants to become different. He knows his wife's not coming back. He doesn't want her back. But if he wants to get a different life, he's going to have to start putting in actions. So hopefully this is a good message for you guys if you are struggling. 30s and 40s can be a scary time, because you do feel like time is running out. You do feel like you might be too old to meet somebody new. I know that I felt like this when I'm 35. I mean, I still sometimes get this in my head. You get that little negative mindset thinking, oh, I'm too old to attract the kind of girls that I want. I'm too old to start a business right now. I'm too old. I'm not going to have my retirement. I'm not going to be able to support a family. I'm not going to have my kids, and all this stuff creeps in. But you're not too old. You can do things to improve your life. And even if that is the case, well, then you have two options. You can complain about it, bitch, and do nothing and just focus on that negative thing, or you can do things that will improve your life in some way. You can go to the gym, you can meditate, you can go do a sauna, you can go do a cold plunge, you could film a YouTube video, you could read a book, you could go for a run, you could do an approach on the street, get your confidence built up. You could do a lot of things. If you're just going to sit around and complain about it, you're not going to get anywhere. The universe is not going to reward you for complaining that dating doesn't work, that online dating sucks, all girls are red flags. Universe isn't going to reward you if you're just going to complain, but then do nothing about it. If you're not going to go and get good photos to build up an online dating profile, to learn how to message, to send the right stuff so that girls don't ghost you. You're not going to get the girl that you really want if you're afraid to go talk to her, because you can't go talk to her on the street. I know if you're in your 30s and 40s, it's very limited to where you can meet women. Unless you want to go to the bars and clubs every night where women gather, you still have to be willing to socialize there. But if you're not going to do that, and you don't want to take the time to get your online dating profile going, what are your options? You can go to meetup.com, which is where all the other guys go that have the same results as you do, where you're not getting any girls from dating apps. You're not able to go out to the bars and clubs. You're not able to go talk to girls on the street. And if you're if you're not from your town and you've actually been traveling, you're not going to have a huge friend group to introduce you to people. And most of the time, if those girls are single at 35, you maybe not be that interested in them. So definitely things that you can be doing to improve yourself. You don't need to stay stuck. I will leave it at that. I was working on a video today. Hopefully this will help you guys. It's about texting. I made a video the other day showing you the progression of my online dating profile. You can see why I wasn't getting matches for many years. I did not put the time, the effort into getting proper photos. I assumed it was good enough. Luckily for me, I was focusing on doing approaching, trying to live, out, being more charismatic, like going out and doing the stuff. It was a lot of time commitment. Not everybody has that. So had I not had that option, I would have needed to really put in more effort into my online dating profile. But you can see what it looks like now. So that's step one of the online dating is you have to get the matches first. And then when guys get matches, you do all that work, you get the photos, you get the matches, but then you don't know what to text. So then you're still not getting girls on the date. So that's the next part of the equation. So today's video I made is going to break down what you can do to text girls so that you can get them onto dates within, 5 to 7 messages. You don't need to be dragging this stuff out. You don't need to be texting them for days. I do a lot of Reddit outreach trying to help guys with their profiles. Most guys don't want to take advice. I don't know if they're just not in enough pain. They don't think it's important, but you see a lot of guys that aren't taking feedback and then they're just complaining that they're getting ghosted. So this doesn't need to happen to you. There are steps you can take. So that's a reason why I haven't been filming videos the last couple days, trying to get that stuff going. Got the framework set up. You can watch that video tomorrow. I'm going to edit it probably at the airport. I was going to do it today, but then I had to do bunch of stuff with the moving, the podcast. I think I'm going to film another podcast tonight with Robbie for the playbook. I'm not really sure what we're going to discuss yet today. Been super busy with that stuff. Need to be planning a little bit more. But yeah, that's on the agenda. 90-day challenge is going very well. I'm nervous about it. I've still been doing the approach every day. Got a few numbers over the last couple days, which that's super helpful because I'm leaving Playa, but maybe when I come back. But still doing an approach a day, still meditating every morning, still going to the gym every day, still eating healthy every day, still educating myself every day. These are things that are in my control. Yes, most days I don't want to do it. That doesn't mean I can't. That doesn't mean I'm not going to do it. These are things that I've learned over the years. These are things that are going to improve myself as a person, as a man. Stuff that, you don't want to necessarily do, but I committed to non-negotiables, so I will do it. Nervous about the trip tomorrow because I've never gone to the airport without just binge eating garbage. Every time I go there, it's like a reward for me. Just like if I go to the movies, I have to get candy and ice cream or candy, sodas, all that stuff. It's like my air quote treat. I get to gorge myself, eat all this stuff. So anytime I'm at the airport, I'm always getting McDonald's and candy bars and sodas, trying to give myself an excuse that I need to eat something. So we'll see what's going to happen this trip. I might just fast the entire time. I don't want to. I can't be eating garbage. I made it a non-negotiable. I'm on day 71. So I still have, 29 more days or 19 more days until the 90-day challenge is up. So I'm going to have to still continue to eat healthy, which is good. I don't want to eat garbage anyways. So that'll be a good test. We'll see how that all goes. I think that's going to be it for this episode 2. Hopefully these learned values just open your eyes to show you not only that you can learn these things, like you can become more social. If you stopped right now to think, like, what would happen if you introduce yourself to 3 people every day for the next 30 days? Do you think you'd be more social? Do you think you'd get out of your head a little bit? Do you think you'd be a little bit more charismatic? If you decided to go to the gym 4 times this week instead of 0 times, do you think you'd start getting in better shape? Do you think you'd start to feel better? Do you think you would, if you started to research a little bit more on starting your own business every day, do you think you'd make some progress? Do you think you'd feel a little bit unstuck in your career if you're not happy with it? If you started to just do an approach every 2 days or every day for 30 days, do you think you'd be much more closer to getting a girlfriend? All these things are stuff that you can do. It's in your control. No one's coming to save you. Those are the learned values. If you haven't watched The Hangover, check it out. You can really see the dichotomy between Bradley Cooper and Ed Helms in the movie. And you can just see that, yes, Bradley Cooper is very attractive man. He's very masculine. He's alpha. But these are behaviors that you can learn. Watch that movie, and instead of being jealous like I definitely would have been, which I still am, I mean, he's a G. But watch that movie and just see how he's behaving. Like he moves slowly. He speaks his mind. He's very confident. He dresses very nice. He's always problem solving. If a problem comes up, he doesn't look to others for help. He says, I'll figure this out. So definitely check that out. I think it's a great representation of what it would look like if you were being your very best self. Because at your very best self, that is how you would behave. You wouldn't be supplicating to others. That's a nice guy tendency that we've been ingrained with since we were kids. Trying to do things for others, trying to play small, never being our true selves. It's not who we are. It's not who we want to be. It's just something that we're conditioned to. We don't want to push our comfort zone. We don't want to be rejected. We don't want that loss of validation. And that's where neediness comes from. That's where the nice guy comes from. And if we don't have that, then we would just naturally act more like ourselves. We would get what we wanted. We would go for the things that we want. We wouldn't just play small and hope that it comes to us. Hopefully that was helpful. That is episode 2. Next week's episode will be coming from Gold Coast, Australia, or back to Brisbane. We'll see, but it will be in Australia. Exciting times. I would definitely keep stuff going on the YouTube, filming everything that's going on with my client. I'll show you guys how to get better photos, what we're doing with him. Hopefully it'll help you guys. If you're interested in getting photos or looking for more feedback on your texting, you can watch the video tomorrow. Join the school group. I got a bunch of resources there. All this self-promotion stuff, I guess I just got to get out of the way. But yeah, check out the school group. I got a lot of resources in there. If you're tired of messing around with your photos and you just want to get the dating life that you want, you can reach out to me. We can look at maybe having me come to your city to get it done. I'm willing to travel. I'm at that point in my life now where I have a lot of freedom. I can travel a lot and help get things set up for people. That's kind of what I want to do at this time. I got a lot of freedom. I'm single. Nothing holding me down. No leases. So we'll see what we can do with that. All right, guys, that is it for this episode. Enjoy your week. Hopefully you guys did a mastermind. I did that today. Get your goals set up. Do what you can to improve your life. Learn some new skills this week. Do one thing that would help you grow in some way. Final takeaway, peace.